Pigeons episode 98. Not gonna lie, that is not how we drew this up today. And I'm a little depressed. I'm here with Meech and Rock. Fellas, thank you for joining me on this brutal Sunday. What turned out to be a brutal Sunday. And, you know, it just goes to show how much these games mean. We come to this wonderful event. There's tons of people here. Everybody's super excited. And then all of a sudden, the Eagles just come out and lay an absolute turd from the beginning. And they kind of ruin the event. You know, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's a great event.
I'll tell you who ruined the event. When I got here, there was one girl in a creamsicle Buccaneers jersey.
I saw that.
She ruined the vibes before the game started. It killed me.
I'm going to blame Tubbs for that. He shouldn't have let her in there. He should have said, excuse me, miss, you cannot come in here with that jersey on.
Next thing you know, it's 14-0. It honestly happened quicker than I've ever seen the Eagles go down 14-0 before in my life.
Yeah. And I saw that jersey, and I was a little bit upset myself, but the truth is, that's a beautiful jersey. That's probably one of the nicest jerseys that they have in the NFL. So I was like, damn, it's kind of steez there. It's only one person. There was a hell of a lot of people here. We got to send a shout out to Underdog. Underdog came out for the Warehouse Sale today. All the wonderful T-shirts that were designed to help the B Philly Foundation that Jason Kelsey helped to start, and that gives a lot of money to wonderful organizations across the Delaware Valley. They came out and had a warehouse sale, which is amazing. And we were all hoping that, by the way, there's a line out the door this morning. It was bananas. You guys see that?
Yeah, when I got here, there was literally you couldn't get into the place.
That just goes to show that people like cheap stuff. You know what I mean? If you can get a deal on something, they will be there.
Well, I mean, let's just qualify that a little bit. They like really good stuff.
That's what I said. I meant to say it. I kind of parlayed that.
And by the way, we used our powers and hooked up some Fink's Hoagies. Those Fink's Hoagies were gone in about 10 seconds.
The Fink's Hoagies were gone before I got here.
I didn't even know there was Fink's Hoagie here.
I didn't even sniff a Fink's Hoagie today. I'm a little upset about that. That, amongst other things, went wrong. But here's the good thing. This was a fantastic event, a wonderful space. Shout out to Jeff Tubbs, his whole team, for hosting us in here. Let's go.
Yeah. Wait, where are we? I don't even think you mentioned where we are.
At the Firehouse in Fishtown. I think it's completely leased out, though, right, Emily? You can't even get a space here. Except if you want to have a commercial space, and we got to say, guys, this space is wonderful.
I was talking to Jeff. I was like, "What are you going to do with this?" He was like,
"Be the new coop."
He was like, "Oh, we might do a little cafe, maybe
Jeff,
a little restaurant."
Jeff, we're thinking about moving the coop, and we're looking for somebody to give us pretty much like a no rent deal. Like it's something that we should talk about. Not right now. There you go. Not right now, but we'll talk about it later. All right. So look, that game just totally took the wind out of our sails. Honestly, I don't know what we were expecting. You come into a game where you're missing AJ, you're missing Devontae, you're missing Lane Johnson. Did we really expect that we could win that game?
When you're missing those guys, here's what I expect: simplify everything. You don't want to do play action deep routes in your first play of the game, and throw 20 yards downfield. You got to do simple shit like the Bucs did. The Bucs just carved us up. Every play they did in the beginning of the game was simple and easy. And if they weren't wide open, Baker Mayfield passed through a tight window to get it in the middle of the field. We couldn't do any of that shit. We didn't rush Saquon, I think, 2 times in the first 2 series. Well, I don't even know what's going on.
I don't understand the obsession with the Philadelphia Eagles. And it seems like it's been since Andy Reid's been here with throwing the football. I don't know. We brought new coordinators in. We brought new head coaches in. It just seems like they have some weird obsession with throwing the football. You have probably the best running back in the league right now, and the dude is touching the ball at a like an alarming he's probably averaging 1 carry on the first drive.
Yeah,
this year.
To be fair, coming into this game, he led the league in touches, I think, and he was going to break his career high by a ton if he kept up this pace. But you have to feed.
But they don't establish it, though. They don't do it early when the game is still, you know what I mean? It's like,
and they did it in the second half, and look how well it worked.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, just have to point out, I just glanced up at the score of the Phillies game, 6-1. It's about time we showed a little offense. We'll get into that a little bit later. All right, back to the Birds. Okay. So you guys are talking about not using Saquon, and I can't really say that I have a problem with that, because what happens is this: they score a touchdown, a methodical drive, right? You come out and you go 3 and out, right? So you didn't really even have the chance, and I believe they gave it to Saquon once in the first series. Then Tampa goes up 14-0. You're already behind. You already can't ground and pound.
You can though, but you can just
time left.
Yeah, you can.
You saw that by how they came back and it was a game again. They were down 10, like 2 minutes into the third quarter.
And how many times have you seen Barkley take one of those carries and just like, all right, so you say you can't turn around and hand the ball off and ground it out, but you can. All right, Bert, you can ground it out. You can turn around and give him the ball, and then all of a sudden he breaks one 65 yards. You know what I'm saying? You don't go away from the best player on the team. Bottom line, that early in the game. I don't know.
But I just think they had to simplify this offense with the new guys in.
Yeah.
They're not good receivers, if we're going to be honest. And speaking of receivers, where the fuck is Jahan Dotson? Like, why did we trade a third-round pick for this guy? We got swindled by the fucking Commanders.
Meech, your language is...
Sorry, the kids in here, I see two kids looking at a phone. This kid's watching this. That kid's too young to understand what we're saying.
I don't know. This kid's pretty dialed in right
I think I was going to tell
Meech. He's taking this all in. He's going home and saying all sites.
They've heard this before.
I was going to tell Meech that, this is a family thing, but given the way this all played out, and, no one cares, man. Meech, let those F-bombs rip, dude. All good.
Let them fly.
You're justified. You have the right to be upset because, look, it just didn't seem – and here's the thing that pisses me off the most, okay? That game last week with the defense playing the way they did, we're like, damn, that defense – balled. Like, we saw what they could be. After watching that game today, I almost want to write off that performance last week and be like, that was just one game where they were charged up. That's not who they are. Because how can you come into this game and
you know what? That first play of the game, I looked at that first play of the game, and I was driving over here, and in my car, I was watching crack streams on the, on the illegal stream. And the first play of the game on the
illegally watching his phone on the illegal stream
while he's driving.
You are a true citizen.
The first play of the game was like a 12, 13-yard reception by Mike Evans, right?
Right.
And you know who was on him, right? It was Darius Slay. And I'm looking at that play, and I'm like, this dude is completely washed. So
no, you know who's washed is Avonte Maddox. There's no reason for him to
He's been washed since he was drafted.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this. I'm like, this defense, like, it just looks old and, like, tired. I know it's 112 degrees or whatever it is down there, but, like, something about this defense, and it looked old and tired, and then you have an old and tired coach that has an old and tired, like, system. I'm not liking it right now.
Okay, but
old and tired isn't a good theme for the Philadelphia.
But here's the thing. They're not old. Like, there's a couple guys that are old, but they're actually supposed to be young, all these Georgia guys. Funny thing is, this morning, I'm driving around early. Who's on the radio?
Sonny Hill.
Damn right. Sonny Hill on the radio. Too. Okay. Some guy calls up from Tampa, and he goes,
I heard that guy.
Yeah, he goes, Sonny,
it's
95 degrees with 100. And I'm like, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, this isn't the kind of team that, like, responds to that. This is the kind of team that goes down there and is like, it's so hot and everyone's feeling ill. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, Jordan Love left the game with cramps. Reed Blankenship left the game with cramps. Like, what happened to pickle juice? Well, get some pickle juice, man.
We had Fishtown pickles here. They had pickles on a stick.
Yeah, we did have pickles on a stick.
Which are delicious, by the way.
You know what's weird? What? I was listening to that same exact caller, and when I heard that call, I was like, I don't like this one bit. I was like, this dude's from Philadelphia, and he's cheering for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because he's down there.
That was sus anyway.
Anyway, shout out Sonny Hill, man. He's still keeping it going.
Yeah. A little more Birds talk. I did hear a lot about some of the great basketball players in Philadelphia history, though. So
somebody died. He was giving a straight tribute.
Yeah, I learned a lot, as you do with Sonny, and that's okay. But yeah, man, there's so many things that happen early, and like I said, I was hopeful they could win the game because you go 3-1. You actually have a great leg up on the division. You got your bye. You know what I mean? When you look back at it, thank God that they won that game against the Saints somehow.
Yeah,
because we're very close to being 1-3.
Who are the Skins playing this week?
I know this because we took them. The Skins are playing the
Chargers.
No, the Cardinals.
The Cardinals?
Yeah. Which
that's the last thing you want to do is get down to the Redskins. And
everyone stop worrying about the freaking Commanders, dude. Stop worrying about the Commanders.
I mean,
right? We got to deal with our own team's issues. Don't worry about the Commanders. That's the last thing I'm worried about right now. Everyone's drunk on this Jaden Daniels juice. Just chill out. No, we got our own problem. Let's talk about how bad Jalen Hurts looks.
We're drunk on garage beer.
We're drunk on the garage beer. And by the way, I meant to mention this.
Cheating on Kenwood, but it's pretty good.
Understood. Yeah, we would never cheat on Kenwood, but we came to this event. And sometimes the events are put on by other people. And here's the thing.
I feel like Garage stole Kenwood's their formula because it tastes eerily similar.
We are in an event at Garage Beer. I don't know that he knows how this works. Okay, but I wanted to point out that we are at an event where Underdog came and sold a bunch of products, and this is the brand that was founded by Jason Kelsey. And it just goes to show, they couldn't get Jason in New Heights here because Jason has Monday night tomorrow. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Who do they call? Who do they call when they need a top-level podcast to come in and do the podcast.
This little kid over here.
They call the City Pigeons podcast. And when I got here earlier, and I saw that line, and I saw the Finks Hoagies had gone, I knew immediately the kind of impact that the City Pigeons had on this event. I mean, it's nice that Underdog was here. I think they did pretty well, but it goes without saying that we're really the linchpin, and we thank everybody for having us. We thank everybody for being here.
The thousands of people still in attendance.
Here's the question. Thank you to Radical Squirrel, who's ride or die. I think Radical Squirrel is just here because he knows the Phillies tickets are going to be up soon, and he's smart enough to know. Unlike John Bird,
tickets up?
Know this, okay? John Bird has been salty all day, and he left. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's who you want to take to the Phillies game. So he's not thinking about the bigger picture.
He's very surly, man. He's
Sometimes
a surly guy.
Sacrifice. I mean, this guy shows up and he's like, "There's a line.
Yeah.
There's all these kids.
Whatever.
It's hot in here."
Anyway,
what do we invite you to an event for?
I took some.
There were a lot.
I took some notes. I see Leach's got his notes over there. Jess, you probably got your mental notes, but I got some
digital notes.
Some notes from this game.
All right, give us your note. What's your top note, dude?
All right, now I'm going to go down in order.
Top.
Oh, you want the top?
Yeah, I don't want everyone.
All right, so I'm going to give you my play of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't stop him. They let him score, right? They blocked the field goal.
No, the extra point.
Extra point, whatever. Field goal, extra point, right?
Big difference.
They get the Eagles get down to almost the red zone, and then they had a Jalen Hurts scramble run type of deal.
I've just seen it.
Gets the first down, right? He gets the first down, and then the next play, it's not a shotgun. I mean, it is a shotgun. I'm sorry. It's not a under the center. It's not a play action. It's a straight drop back. He fumbles the ball.
Okay. Now here's the thing.
Play right there. Why don't you just turn around and give the ball to the best running back in the league?
That was awful, and that summarized. That summarized the season to this point and the issues that we've had. And here's what I don't
losing recognition. He doesn't.
Right. I don't think that's Jalen. That's not Jalen Hurts' fault, though. In my opinion, that's the coaching.
Hold on. Here's the thing. I can't speak to what it's like to play quarterback in the NFL, but here's what I know. If you watch that play, Jalen Hurts drops back. He has a couple seconds. Then a guy rushes him. He evades.
He knows where he is. Yeah.
Right. He evades the guy, and it's the same guy that loops around and gets him. I think what you have to know at that point is you got to get
it out.
At a minimum, you got to pull the ball. Yeah. Like, you cannot hold it out.
That thing's out there. Hang on.
By the way, we saw a very similar play with Baker Mayfield, where someone came from behind him late, in a play, and he managed to pull the ball and hold it.
But in my opinion, you don't put your quarterback in that situation. Like, you're driving a little bit. You just got a little bit of momentum after you get the block kick, right? You're down almost at the red zone. It's first down. You got the best running back in the league. Just turn around and give him the ball one time. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's where I'm coming from.
But what concerns me is,
if you're going to pass it, give me a play action there.
He's getting older in his career, and his decision making is getting worse.
Sure.
Like, at what point do you know just to tuck the you have to feel that pressure? It's just got to be a second sense. Like, you have to know it's coming, especially when the guy touched you already.
Yeah.
He was in his back pocket.
He seems like he's forcing things,
and he still dropped the ball all the way down to let him. It's tough.
He's
to watch.
forcing things. It looks like in my opinion, it looks like he's forcing stuff, and I think that they need somebody around him, coaching wise, to be like, hey, you don't got to make it happen on every play.
Yeah, but you know what the truth is? You can't teach all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of feel there.
Right.
And you might not have it.
It's just instinct.
It's like when Carson would never kill a play. You just keep going, never throw it out of bounds. Do you know they had a stat in that game that blew my mind? I don't know how I didn't know this. And I think this is what they said. Did they say that the Eagles have not scored any points in the first quarter of any game?
That doesn't sound.
I swear
correct,
they said
man. Maybe
I gotta verify that.
No, Green Bay, they were down 6-0. Atlanta, they didn't score until late in the second quarter. They scored that touchdown pass to Devontae, and they had none in the first half.
So we are almost a quarter of the way into the season, and we haven't scored any points in the first quarter. What does that tell you? That tells you one thing.
The preparation is horrible.
It tells you the game plan is awful. The game plan is awful.
Like, did you see how they have a brand new play caller for Tampa Bay? I saw today.
Yeah.
It's the first time they let him play.
They're like Mike Murphy for some reason.
He had the perfect game plan for us.
So a lot of motion.
It was and what happened to Kellen Moore's motion offense?
Yeah.
It's non-existent.
It's stale.
So that leads me to believe that Kellen Moore isn't calling these plays. It's still the Nick Sirianni stale-ass, boring offense.
I'm with you, though. Like, why aren't we seeing, like, little button hooks? Why aren't we seeing little slants? Why aren't we seeing, like,
some misdirection?
Every time he went to drop back and throw, it was like that looping throw 10 yards
and
that went out of bounds.
It's all to the sidelines.
It's all to the sidelines,
you have this much room to catch it, even if it is a perfect throw.
There's a lot of space in the middle of the field.
And how about that play when they didn't the Dallas Goedert at the 5-yard line where he had to tiptoe out of there? If that's a half-decent throw, he walks into the end zone. Like, he just walks in there.
I had a similar play of the game. These are obviously not highlights. These are freaking low lights.
Is it the 3rd and 11?
There's a minute left, okay? A minute left, and it's 3rd and 10. Now, if you remember at that point, we had stopped them with 2 minutes left. We got the ball back, and I believe if we scored, I'm having a hard time remembering the exact score there, but I believe
first half,
second half. We would have made it like a
10-point
game, and then we were getting the ball back.
Right.
So you need points. It's 3rd and 10, and he throws like a check down little button hook,
6 yard
ironically. Not even. It wasn't even 6 yards. It was 3 yards. And I was just like, what the hell?
You know what? I saw that play, and I was like, I think it was a linebacker, whoever was there, came on the blitz immediately, right, and left a huge gaping hole in the field, right?
Yeah.
So if you throw that ball to a good receiver, they should be able to make that guy miss and get that first down. I don't know who we threw it to there. I can't even remember. But that just goes to show that if you don't have a good enough talent on the field, they're not going to get that first down there.
This is a typical contribution. We've got someone named E.F. Von Brodude in the chat who says, need more Barkley. It just couldn't be more predictable. It couldn't be more vanilla,
It's ridiculous.
It's like the City Pigeons need more E.F. Von
Brodude. E.F. Von Brodude was here.
We need more E.F. Von Hoagies around there, apparently.
E.F. Von Brodude, know this. Your Hoagies went in about 10 minutes, dude. So I guess we should.
I don't know what time you delivered them, but they were gone before 12:30.
All right, how about this, right? So the Eagles, I didn't even see the play because I was getting some pickles from the pickle bar over there.
Pickled,
yes. And the Eagles, right after the half, they get the game to within 10 with a long Barkley run and then a tush push, right? They get on defense. They're down 10. They have a pretty good defensive stance. They get them to 3rd and 11.
Okay.
I don't know how Baker Mayfield did some sort of BS magic, but he's like squeezed the ball to this tight window.
Yeah, he made some good
and they
passes,
get a first down. But if they stop him on that 3rd and 11, that game could be completely different, right? They stop him, they go down and score. You got a 3-point game.
Now, to his credit, made great throws. His receivers also going up, catching.
He's got all
strong hands, great. But it just pisses me off because, like, that first drive, for example, I could have led that drive. I mean, guys they're doing 7-yard hooks, dude, wide open. We make Baker Mayfield look like Joe Namath every freaking time we play him. When are we going to stand up and say enough? Where the hell was Jalen Carter today? I just want to say something. After last week, when all we saw was Baldy's breakdowns of how he wrecked every play, where was he? I don't understand.
Saquon didn't give him that pregame speech today or something.
I don't
know.
Understand.
The defense in general, how many missed tackles did you see today?
Did you remember that play where Mayfield did the fake pass and then threw a pass on Mitchell, and he defended it perfect. But the dude, the practice squad wide receiver for the Bucs went up and just took it off him. He just met him at the point and took it off him.
So,
it's an impressive play, but you got to do better.
To dude's credit, he's been playing well all year.
He's been great.
Yeah,
I was trying my hardest.
It was well defended. It's not a knock.
He was throwing some dimes in there. I don't know where he came from.
Yeah,
maybe he took some of that Deshaun Watson massage juice down there with him to Florida, but I don't know what he's doing down there.
Jeez. Gotta love it.
Look, baby, I think Baker was pissed off because he got all these wonderful ads and everyone's hating on him because he wasn't any good. He's like, well, I'm going to show you. But either way, look, I was really positive today. You guys know I was staying in it. I was encouraging everyone. I said, they're coming back. They're coming back.
You were.
Now that's partially because I brought everyone into this escapade. I was like, guys, we're going to go to this thing. It's going to be great. It's going to,
But losing is almost just as fun.
I mean, it was one of those like perfect storms of like bad scenarios where like the Bucs lost last week in a close game.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I honestly underplayed that. I didn't realize how embarrassed they were that they lost to Bo Nix at home and that they were going to come out mad.
Yeah.
And we we felt like we had won some massive game, even though
it was
should
like
have
one
lost.
of those like
You're right, in
like,
the 95 degrees.
Yeah, you're going down into like the hurricane just came through. You know what I mean? It's blazing hot down there.
Something just popped into my head, and I don't want to take us away from the Eagles, but I got to point out there is hope in the world. Did anyone see our man Michkov last night score the 2 points, the 2 goals, and score the winning goal in overtime? And how do you pronounce his name, though, actually? Michkov? Michkov. Yeah. So we've now coined Meech. Meech is now Michkov, and that makes me smile. So the Flyers have hope. And by the way, guys, we're back.
Is that regular season hockey or no?
No, preseason. We're back in on the Flyers. Last night there was a fight. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'm back in on the Flyers, and
me too.
Let's go.
I heard they got Simmons up in the front office.
Yeah,
so I'm
Simmons
with it.
is in the front office.
I'm with it.
Back, dude.
By the way, someone named a wide receiver named Ladd McConkey. Just scored a touchdown.
I have Ladd McConkey.
That's a great.
Listen,
that's a great name for like
I picked Ladd McConkey.
A character in like The Hobbit. Or something.
Hear me out. I picked Ladd McConkey on my team, and I was going to change my team name to McConkey Tonk. What do you think about that?
No.
You don't like that?
McConkey Tonk?
Yeah, like
you picked Ladd McConkey because I told you to pick Ladd McConkey.
No, that's not true at all, dude. I actually listened to a podcast and I heard that. So.
I had him on my team.
Anyway,
he's a Georgia legend.
Not everything comes from you, Roto Rocky. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. If you go back and listen to Rocky's Roto,
did you guys see that
name
Ryan Williams touchdown from last night?
I did. Everyone's
17 years old. It was like better than you could do in a video game. He caught it while he was spinning, and then 2 Georgia defenders, the best defense in the country, ran into each other, and he spun around them and then outran them for the last.
Well, you know what happened?
It was the best catch and
I didn't
I've
see
ever
it.
seen in my
I went to
entire
sleep,
life.
and then this morning
and the kid
everyone's
was
like,
17 years old.
Georgia Bama, did you see it? Nah, I missed that.
I didn't see it. But could you imagine being 17 years old and like having that kind of spotlight on you?
Yeah,
and,
it must be nice to head back to campus,
dude. And then like all you see is when those 2 dudes collide is like the Sonic coins just busting out because his NIL deal is just going to go explosion right there after that play. You know it's going to happen.
Rock. That's good, man.
Yeah,
you're good with that.
You got to set up
like
that GIF where the Sonic.
Yeah, the dollar signs just come busting out because you know that dude's got at least $1 million in his inbox.
That's enough college football talk. Listen, I want to say
the most impressive thing I did when I was 17 was build a fort and a bonfire in the woods in Somerton.
Beautiful. I think were we still hanging out when we were 17 at that point? We were probably out in the HT doing some weird stuff, I'm sure.
You guys were doing some weird
I remember
shit
riding in the
there.
back of a pickup truck.
17, I was deep into it.
All right.
I think that's when you got cut from the ball team for smoking Newports.
The Newports came in.
I was 14.
Yeah, they belong in the equation. Okay. I want to thank anybody who's tuning into the show. Thank you. I know you got a lot of post-game stuff to choose and probably some – nobody wants to see real breakdown of this game. They want to see some guys just get pissed off.
Good job.
We are doing a good job. Yeah. I always sell us short.
What else
we are
got?
Analysts.
How about the punt return,
I was just going to say, I want to dig to the next level because on special teams, there was actually surprisingly –
There's 2 punt returns where like fucking 3 Stooges.
I was thinking the 3 Stooges. What the
and honestly, like these Tampa games, like every one of them has been so embarrassing to be an Eagles fan. The tackling, and then the first one where it's like, oh, like throw the flag, and then you're like, oh, he pushed him into him.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Every time something was going to go right.
I think that was a bad call for the refs to reverse that because it wasn't a blatant push. It was kind of like
it was a push.
It was kind of like he was holding on to him and he just guided him into him. It wasn't a blatant one.
By the way, isn't that a block in the back?
Observation, though, right?
Remember if you want to call that, how funny was it that this was his first punt returns in the NFL? Like this is what you got to deal with your own.
One of them,
it's friendly fire out here.
The second one, the guy can't hold up and he just drills him. Our own guy.
Does it seem like? All right, I know you guys we're a little bit older, right? So remember back in the day when you would watch football.
I'm old.
The guys are back there. They call fair catch. You got to give them like 3-4 yards back in the day. Nowadays, they're like up in your face. Oh,
that's true.
What happened to that?
Yeah, you're right.
What happened to that?
As long as they catch it, they never call the penalty.
Because dudes are coming flying down the field. That's what happened on that play. This dude's coming flying down the field towards the receiver, right? And he like barely gets touched, and all of a sudden he gets bumped into the guy, right?
So interesting. Special teams is the one area where there was some up and down, right? Those were awful plays. They were pathetic plays that embarrassed us greatly. And you combine that with the bad tackling, it just made us feel really stupid. But there were two great things about special teams. First, we already alluded to was the blocked
extra point,
which, by the way, I thought someone said he was out of bounds. I'm like, that's perfect.
Ringo,
that's perfect.
He was like a tightrope walker on the sidelines. That was nice to watch.
Okay, so that was great. And by the way, I don't know if anyone noticed this because these are the little things that I noticed because I'm watching every level of this game. the punter today was excellent.
He was banging.
The punter was fantastic. And then, you know the funny thing
Who is our punter?
The funny thing at this point, I don't actually know. Is his last name Man? Something Man? You know, gone are the days of Sav Roca and bless you.
Jesus.
You know, the punter, he did a great job today. So shout out to the punter.
Shout out, man.
You know, and those kind of punts. And by the way, as we're thinking about what to do on fourth down, Nick, maybe think about the fact that your punter's a freaking madman. All right? Something to think about moving forward, buddy.
We're talking about punting, dog.
You know, and by the way, I messed up because Rocky gave me these keys to the game, and I never did anything with them because I got all, busy. And one of his keys to the game was leave Sirianni at the hotel.
Should have left him at the hotel, dude. I mean, it just seems like to me, I don't know what kind of game plan he's cooking up or whatever the hell he's doing during the week. But if I'm the coach of this team, I'm going to say I'm going to run Saquon Barkley until they stop it. I'm going to give him 2 carries right off the bat. I don't care what happens with those 2 carries.
Okay, but here's what I'm going to say to you. Besides from the big run that he ripped off after halftime that we missed because we didn't change the channel back.
I don't care.
There were a few.
I don't care.
Listen, I single-handedly ran the AV for this. All right, I don't want anyone to talk shit. And by the way, I accidentally turned off the power strip 2 times, and that is a bad move.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a word to the wise: if you're going to run an event, make sure you have a power strip that has a nice firm button. You know
what? Sirianni didn't even get in a situation today where he could make a bad call. You know what I'm saying? So I think if we had gotten to that situation, he probably would have made a dumb decision.
But here's the thing, man. Like there were a lot of runs to Saquon that didn't go well. There was a lot of penetration.
That one on the goal line, dude.
Like you had a point at which Juergens was out of the game and freaking Dickerson was snapping.
He's snapping from center, man.
I mean, the whole thing was just a mess.
The one thing that we can take away from this that can kind of make you feel good a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It's very early in the season, right?
That's it.
There's ups and downs in the NFL.
That's what I'm talking about because here's my thing. Like last year at this point, I was like, yeah, the Eagles are Super Bowl winners.
Exactly.
Like this team's going to win the Super Bowl, and then just came crashing down.
Yeah. So they got time to figure it out, man.
Figure it out. I mean, I don't know, man. With the quarterback play,
that's the thing. It's just
he
the whole
has
thing.
to make better decisions. Yeah. He has to have some pocket of work, but he's had it before, so it's not like
they'll figure it out.
It's not
man.
like you can't.
I'll tell you what,
recreate this magic.
People call him for Sirianni, right? They call him for Sirianni, get him out of here. I agree with that, but I see the memes with my man Bill Belichick.
You're not feeling that?
Don't bring that fucking old man in here, man.
You don't want that?
We need if you're gonna make a
old man, you know, he's doing pretty well with the young ladies, dude. I don't think you should hate on Bill like that.
If he didn't have that bank account, I don't think he'd be doing that as well.
Speaking of which, hold on. There is something about this game that just made it extra painful. And thankful for us, we were here in this loud venue and we could barely hear the audio. We had to listen to Tom Brady call the game. And they had to show all the highlights of Tom, schmoozing with people on the field and the crowd thanking him. And did you hear when he went off about Godwin? It was just like,
I'm just counting down the time until Tom Brady gets his photos come out getting caught up in the whole Diddy situation. So he'll be caught up in that. And he'll be where he.
Tom was too focused on football. He's not going to the Diddy party.
Yeah,
I
was talking about this with Jeff earlier, right? I used to love announcers like Madden, Summerall, those kind of guys. I would enjoy listening to them broadcast the game. Nowadays, I just tune these guys out.
There's so many of them.
Like I don't even listen. There's a few that are good and can announce good, but like Tom Brady, I don't even fucking listen to the guy. Like I just tune him the fuck out. I have a good radar where.
All right, I ain't gonna lie. When I was driving over here, listening or watching on the crack streams, he wasn't doing that bad of a job. If I'm gonna be 100% honest, sounded pretty good.
I'm sure he'll get better at it. He'll be fine, just like the rest of these. But you don't have to.
I ain't gonna be a hater.
Here's the thing: you don't have to pay him all this money to be an announcer just because he's Tom Brady. Any broadcasting college guy could do this and probably be better at it.
True. But people want to hear Tom Brady.
It's when you get those second and third teams, on like the random broadcast, that gets real ugly.
But after a while, what I'm trying to say is these announcing teams just like they don't even enter my stream of consciousness. I don't listen to what they're saying.
If somebody wants to be like real progressive and like try to set the trend.
Watch the words you're throwing around.
What progressive?
We got an election coming up.
I'm saying they should throw 3 random dudes in the booth like us and be like,
you remember
holy shit, did you see
Tony Romo first came out and they were like, oh man, he's predicting these plays.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that shit in fucking 4 years. He's done predicting plays. He's just a regular. Yeah, he's just a regular announcer now.
Sorry,
who
Tony.
does a normal job, and he's okay. But
I wouldn't mind seeing 3 random dudes call a game now, like 3 random.
I'd rather have a guy who's educated in broadcasting and can talk about the game.
We need a moment of levity because that was tough, and
we're gonna be all right, guys. We're gonna be all right.
I don't know about
Who's
that.
we?
Eagles.
We.
Eagles are gonna be all right.
Okay, so here's the moment
Plenty
of
of
levity.
time.
It's kind of serious though. We got to take a real good hard look at how they operate these chains and who's operating the chains, because I don't know why every time in every game I got to see a guy that looks like anybody's granddad who just got absolutely truck sticked and he's about to die on the sidelines. Today, it got to the point where they had to stop the game and go over and check on dude.
I thought they were going to throw a personal foul penalty on Dallas Goedert for trucking.
I've seen it 2 or 3 times. And by the way, that guy was like, "Oh, here it comes," you know. And he was like,
he had no.
So here's the thing. I am suggesting, and by the way,
reaction.
My guess on this is
he tried to put the flag up to as a barricade to try to stop Dallas Goedert.
My guess on this, who's injured there? Somebody's on who?
You know what it is? I think that's like a volunteer job, right? The chain gang. I think it's like a volunteer job.
I don't know. That's my point. I bet NFL's trying to save money by taking people out of the freaking nursing home. Here's the thing. We might need to have an age requirement. We might need to have like a fitness test. And we might need to put these guys in helmets.
Because it ain't long until one of these dudes just on the side.
Here's the reality of the situation. There's no need for those chains anymore. You have technology now.
Right.
Yeah, like you could put something on the sidelines like LED lights that just show you the 10 yards. Come on, man.
So where do you stop then? Because I don't think there's a need for the umpire.
I like the chains up until the point where the guys are too brittle to be able to not die while doing it.
Why do you like the chain? Like what's
because you can see it.
I don't
listen.
Do you ever look at the chains?
It gives me joy to
do you like the umpire in baseball?
No. I hate the umpire.
So you didn't see that coming, did you?
I did.
All right, hold on.
Here's what I like.
Can I say something?
That little blue line that they digitally put onto
on the field. Yeah,
so know when the first down marker is. That's all you need.
But if
I don't need some old guy holding a stick.
Okay, but you know why they do that? See,
that's going to get crushed.
You're totally off. When you're at the game, for example, I was at a high school game the other day. Now, I know you're going to be like, it's not the same, but it is the same because when you are at the game, you can see the first down marker.
How you just answered for me and then continued the conversation.
That's what you got to do. Yeah. That's what you got to do. Look, you can see the damn sticks, and you can see where it's at.
Definitely
and you can see the guy who does the first and
stadium.
second and third and where he's moved to. Now, if you want to shoot a beam up to outer space that I can look at, that's fine, but I don't think it's going to work as good. So I'm all about the chain guys, but we need a dude who can sidestep a guy. Or, you know what? Let's get bouncers, put them in pads, and if the guys come over, give them a little,
I also think the difference between a high school game and an NFL game is
I know that, but when you're watching at the game, it's really the same thing.
I don't know. I'll take you back to Penn Charter days. This is probably about 96.
Do we want to?
Yeah, let's go back.
We're going
about 96.
Let's go way back.
We had a referee. I'll never forget this. I played free safety this game, and it was a muddy game against Malvern. And I remember this referee he's an old guy, and he's doing something on the field, and the ball goes up in the air. I go to chase it down, and I run into this referee. My helmet, like, you know, when you wear a helmet, you can feel it like hit something solid. My helmet hit this fucking dude right in the back of the head. Right? Oh, man. And he's laid out on the field. Like, I'm like, oh, my God.
Probably made $38 for that
game. I think I just killed this guy, right? He's shaking up. He gets up. He continues on, right? If he was probably about 20 years older, that guy would have been dead. Right. He would have been dead on the field. So I hear where you're coming from with you got to have some sort of requirements, but how often is it really happening on the sideline?
It's happening. I've seen it in at least 3 or 4 games where these guys are like almost dead, dude.
Somebody's going to die.
They had to give CPR to one of the chain gang guys.
But I do remember that. That was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Well, they also have the camera guys in the back of the end zone that get trucked.
And it also, you know what it does? It slows down the pace of the game.
I think it makes the game fun.
Imagine if your team's driving and Mr.
Can you bet on that,
Mr. Sticks guy gets laid out, and your team's driving, and you got to stop the whole game because this guy's dead on the sideline right there.
That's what I'm saying. Today, they literally stopped the game because of the dude on the sideline.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's look into that.
The other thing that
email
sucks.
FanDuel and see if we can bet on that.
Please do. Chain gang guy, has to get medical attention. over, plus whatever.
Do they get that blue tent treatment, by the way?
Okay, here's the thing. They can go on the blue tent.
All right.
The thing is, when your team sucks and absolutely gets destroyed, it also largely kills parlays that you have, right? So we had a couple different parlays. Ooh. I don't think any of those are going to hit, right?
I sent a parlay out through the City Pigeons Twitter, and every every leg for
the parlay
for Tampa hit in the first half. Like it was Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Bucky Irving, and all the.
I was just telling you guys before we started. I just told you guys that I had a 15-leg parlay going, and the only leg that I thought didn't hit was Jahan Dotson for 40 yards. And I realized at the end of the whole thing that also Breece Hall didn't hit the leg. But if that would have happened, it was $5 for like $1,200.
You know what's sad?
I would have been fucking going crazy in there.
There was a text exchange going on earlier this week where it was announced that I think it was Devontae was out or something, that Paris Campbell was going to play. And I literally wrote into the text, Paris Campbell, anytime touchdown, and then didn't even end up actually taking that bet. Paris Campbell gets touchdown. Now, here's my question, Meech. Do you think, and I don't know, I didn't look at it because I'm an idiot. What do you think in that situation where you've got your two top receivers out and a guy like Paris Campbell's in, his odds are probably not that crazy, right? Because who else is like, he's got to bump up.
Yeah, I didn't see what his odds were, but I'll tell you.
It's probably still pretty good, I think.
I remember when FanDuel prop bets first came out, anytime touchdown odds were pretty juicy, man. Right. Now they're like almost even money for half of these guys. So,
well, yeah, it's like Jalen or Saquon.
If I had to guess, Paris Campbell touchdown would have been like plus 450, 500.
I know that Jahan Dotson
is great.
Jahan Dotson 40 yards was like plus like 138 or something. I was like, this is crazy.
But that's kind of psycho behavior. Now, wait, here's my question. Did you have him catching cumulatively over 40 yards?
Yeah, 40 yards.
It's not that crazy, but what have we seen from him to lead you to believe that he was going to do that?
Well, injuries to the other players.
It's like the next man up thing. Like you have to earn your trade value, and he did too. And which leads
at a certain extent, right? So the guy didn't get his 40-yard whatever, but like I feel like that's also a little bit on the coaching, right? You got to scheme. When you got some bum ass like second team, third team receivers in there, you got to scheme these guys open. You got to put them in motion.
Yeah, well,
like you got to move.
Who do you
back
think
and
they
forth.
were scheming for today?
But that's what I'm trying to say, especially in the beginning of the game. And Dallas Goedert was one of the only guys that was catching passes.
But guys,
Dallas had a huge drop early.
Do you know what
he did have a huge?
Do you know what the coaches would say to us if they could talk to us right now? What do you think they would say?
Won't you come out here and do it?
No.
I don't give a shit what they would say.
And no, you'd have to go watch the film, but they're going to say to you, hey, have you seen Jahan Dotson try to get off the line? Have you seen him?
That's why you move him around. That's why you.
I'm just saying,
give him some motion.
There's also the possibility that these guys are what they are because they're not great and they're not executing and the plays aren't working.
I don't know. The last time I checked, though, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers cornerbacks, D-backs weren't like some world beaters. So
maybe Howie isn't as brilliant as everyone gives him credit for.
Maybe Vic Fangio is a bum. Maybe fucking Kellen Moore is a bum. Maybe Sirianni's a bum.
Can I tell you why when you guys wanted to not do this, I said we must press ahead? Do you know why?
What do you mean when you guys said you didn't want to?
Well, you guys were trying to cancel.
Because
right?
you said we were joking. We were joking.
When the Eagles were down 14-0, it looked like it was going to be the
I know why you said why. Because people want to hear misery.
No, that's not it. That's not it. Aside from our journalistic integrity, which is huge for us, we stand on that as a pillar of what we do.
Skins are up, bro. Skins are up.
All right, just chill. Everyone chill. We are steamrolling towards 100 episodes. This is the 98th. Thank you. Psychotic.
The crowd is wild. The crowd is going wild.
The hundreds of fans in attendance.
Psychotic stuff.
Squirrel, you ready for that 100 episode, buddy? You getting dumped.
All right, listen. Here's the deal. So this is 98. We're gonna have to do 99 this week. And by the way, we can't do it at the Coop because there's this comedian coming in who's got to like change the place around. I don't even know. So I'm gonna hit up Mike Murphy maybe and see. You guys down to go to Murph's?
Is it that Ted Glass guy?
Yeah,
is that who's coming in?
Guy. Ted Glass, by the way, at the Coop this weekend. Who
Todd Glass.
Todd.
A very
He
funny
said Ted,
comedian.
Todd.
I don't know who the fuck Todd Glass is.
You never heard of Todd Glass?
Nah.
Dude, he's awesome, man. Like,
Okay.
I kind of want to skip next week's show and go to Todd Glass.
Okay, but here's the beautiful thing. You don't need to skip our show because Todd Glass, I believe, is Friday, Saturday. He has shows. Next in line comedy at the Coop, Todd Glass. He's supposedly an awesome comic. I'm not as tuned into this stuff as some people, so I can't say, but might check that out. But Wednesday,
He's hilarious.
Wednesday, I'm going to hit up my man Murph. Are you guys down to go to Murph's for an episode?
Yeah.
All right. Always a pleasure to go to Murph's.
That's
But then,
quick
okay,
and
so
easy.
that's 99. Now, here's the thing. Episode 100 is going to be the following week, and I have a date circled on my calendar because that Wednesday, a week from this Wednesday, I believe, if I'm looking at this right, is going to be the first Phillies away playoff game in the NLDS.
NLDS.
Correct?
Wait, the schedule already came out for the playoffs?
Yeah, they already have
Yeah,
it.
it's out.
Yeah, they already have it. They say
How does
they're
that
gonna-
work?
We didn't share it with you. But
Yeah,
it's out.
you didn't get it.
But
they,
they're still
didn't
playing.
give times, but it's the dates.
right.
Yeah, and they say they're going to stick to it, right? No matter what.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first game.
Are you talking about a watch party?
Yeah, so- For the 100th episode of the City Pigeons, we are going to watch the Phillies' first away game in the NLDS at the Coop. We're going to invite all of our friends, people like Radical Squirrel, who've been with us since the very beginning. I want to get like something to give people like Radical Squirrel to honor them. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is.
Can
but,
we get another Underdog
like an
Warehouse Sale
engagement
going on
Yeah,
in there?
that helps
That
get
brought
people.
the people
Look,
in.
I guess Steve, they still have so much stuff left over.
Hey, there's a lot of warehouse shit left over. Are you part of the Underdog team?
All right. Well,
Do you
if
guys need an event
yeah.
to come sell some stuff at next week? Because we got a spot for you.
Yep, a week from Wednesday. The 100th episode of City Pigeons, which is a very big deal. Trust me, it is. It just is. Okay, so if you're watching this and you want to come down and check it out, like make a plan. Let's go. Come down, check it out. It's going to be awesome. We're going to get a bunch of people to give us food and drink as we do. We'll figure it out, and we'll have all the people down there and hang out. So it's going to be a big deal. 100 episodes. We got our buddy Jeff. Oh, medium. Yeah, that's what I wore in third grade.
Extra
Okay,
schmedium.
look at this. This is the kind of gear.
Who is that?
This is
that
the
BG?
gear right here.
BG had a nice sack today.
We don't have any mediums.
Yeah, he did. Dude, he's the best defensive.
Yeah,
the best
he's the
defensive
only
end
one
we
who
have
got
on our
pressure
team,
on the
dude.
quarterback pretty much the whole game.
It's the whole damn
Yeah.
team. Everyone loves that one. Everyone loves that
Look
one.
at that.
On the microphone.
I grabbed one of those to go play some hoops in, actually. You know what I mean? It's a little thin, you know what I mean? You won't
Yo,
sweat
this is
too
a
much.
wonderfully nice shirt.
Yeah,
Why would
dude.
you wear this to play hoops?
What do you mean, why would I wear it to play
How are the
hoops?
XLs looking? Are there some XLs over there?
Jess, you need a double
All right,
XL,
cool.
my friend.
Nah, don't hate.
They run a
Why
little. They
hate?
run a little slim, buddy.
Don't hate on me. Yeah, beautiful. All right.
Anywho,
For 1 second, I'd like to change the entire topic. And I know this is Pigeons
President's
postgame,
Cup?
but we have things going on that are very important, including the Philadelphia Phillies and Red October about to start almost a week from today, a little less than a week from today. And I wanted to talk to you, Meech, your thoughts a little bit on what's happened over the past couple of days. Because it seems to me like once the Phillies won the division, they just kind of wanted to rest. Now, all these guys are still playing, but it doesn't really seem like they give a crap. Can we get a score update from the Radical Squirrel on that, by the way? What do you think?
they were blowing them out like
6-3,
6-2 or something. Yeah,
They're up 6-3. And listen, after you clinch, and especially they got their first round bye, which is the equivalent of winning a series. Like it's not a small thing.
Totally agree.
It's you don't have to play the one extra series to possibly get knocked out, which happens a lot.
But weren't they still like in it
6-3
to like
first.
they were first
they were
place,
in it
like
for the
overall?
first place. Listen, they decided to party instead of winning it. We'll see how it turns out. I mean,
So they're still in it for first place in the entire.
not really.
No, okay.
The
No.
Dodgers are 2 games up, and I think they hold the tie.
But if I am correct, didn't they had to win just one game and they hold it over the American League?
Yeah, right.
So if they win today, and that's kind of big.
Yeah,
Because look,
it's huge.
the Dodgers have a pretty suspect pitching staff going to the playoffs. True?
True.
Okay. So the Dodgers will lose to the Padres. Oh, they will lose.
Oh
to the
wait.
Padres
So we're up over the American League in terms of
Yes.
home field advantage
if we win today.
win today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And-
so
and
that's a big
okay,
thing
but hold
because
on.
either you're gonna
If the
lose
Dodgers
to the
lose-
Dodgers or beat the Dodgers,
right?
and
But
so
if the Dodgers were to lose, then we'd have home field advantage.
exactly. All right.
But
So
one would point out last year. That's
can I
kind of
say
what
this?
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say this?
Do it.
If the Phillies can lose to the Diamondbacks in games 6 and 7 at home, What's the fucking difference? I'd almost rather play on the road. Like maybe they have less of a distraction.
Would you want to go play up in Yankee Stadium and hear the fucking kids up in whatever section we were throwing shit at us?
I don't give a shit.
Interesting in a lot of respects.
They came back here and lost to a shitty Arizona team with their 2 best pitchers in games 6 and 7 at home.
So you just like opened up a vortex in my mind a little bit, because naturally the idea is you play for home field advantage, and we have come to believe that playing in Citizens Bank Park is one of the biggest home field advantages in the league. I mean, it probably is, right? But
it should be.
But what did we see last year? When everybody tightens up a little bit, it's almost like it goes the other way.
Yeah.
Because it's such a big advantage. We can't use that, and the crowd starts to go, oh no. And this team like took on that oh no mentality in those games.
I mean, I repeated all
now
the
I'm all
time.
screwed up about
I
the
repeated
baseball
all the
player?
time that they lost game 6, but that was huge. Like that was like a life-changing event for me. I mean, I will never feel confident coming. They needed to win 1 game out of 2 to a shitty Diamondbacks. Like I still can't comprehend how they lost both of those games.
And people like Radical Squirrel who said, you know what? I'm going to go again. I'm going to
Squirrel, how much money did you pay for that game 6?
Wait, here, you got to come on the mic. Here, let's get on the mic.
We want to hear.
It's important.
My man was well invested last year.
Because you had already gone to a bunch of games.
I went to a lot of games, went to that game 6, thought for sure it was going to close out. Had to be there. Game 7, my buddy hits me up. He's trying to go secondhand tickets. Those are going to be pretty pricey. I'm like, dude, if they lose, that is just going to be demoralizing. And you know what? Bohm came out. He was struggling the series, came out, hit that dinger. The crowd was going nuts. And sure enough, I mean, but that's to your point, which is I felt like the crowd was on their side.
They were
supporting them. Right. Bohm hit that homer. Everyone was hype. And then it just went. And it just went a slow death.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is like, do you think there's a chance that in addition to the fact that they're struggling, they start to think, oh, no, we can't do this here in front of them?
No.
And this year, by the way, hold on. This year they've been talking about, you've heard the players say over and over about how great it's been to have the stadium full on Wednesday, middle of the season or daytime games. And that's my concern is that they're playing. It's not going well. Everybody's struggling at the plate. They tighten up and they just start to think we can't do this to them. And they get even tighter.
No,
it felt like that last year, man.
I think for sure that happens. I felt like in game 7, though, the crowd felt that and was behind them 100%, and it still didn't get them over that hump because it was shocking because with Bohm, he struggled throughout that series. And when he came out and hit that dinger, people were hype. And it was just like the crowd was trying to urge them on, and it was just nothing was happening.
I'll tell you what, that Phillies crowd, man, those guys are very forgiving, man. They're not like the Eagles crowd. Like you're hearing boos fucking second play.
Clapping on Turner.
I know, dude. Yes. That was Radical Squirrel for everybody who doesn't know. Supporter of the show.
Here, unlike John Bird.
He's so much more handsome than me. I don't even know why I got back on camera.
He's probably got about 20 years
about that.
Younger than you. So
yeah, 11 or 12.
Whatever.
11 or 12. And that leads me to another thing. I know a lot of people have been asking about the City Pigeons tailgates, and I want you to know that we are working on it, and we've got one. We're going to do one big-ass tailgate. It's going to be huge, right? It's going to be huge. And it's going to be for the Jags game, which unfortunately, well, I mean, they're playing well right now. Did anyone see what happened? They lost?
The Jags are playing. They stink.
No, that's not what I meant. Okay, see, you missed it. I said, unfortunately, it's not going to be as good of a game. And then I
don't think Trevor Lawrence has won a game since he's been in Clemson.
It looked like they were playing better today, but they still lost. So it looks like that game is actually – well, I mean, the Eagles could be fighting for their freaking life. So, look, that game's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be at night. It's going to be a Sunday night.
It's the Doug Peterson return game.
Stop.
Another Doug Peterson return.
Yeah, so we're going to get that
We'll
set
smash them.
That's
they stink. They really
remember
stink.
when the Eagles used to blow teams out and win 38-13?
I don't because remember.
Let me tell you guys something real quick.
Yeah, no, it was like 3 years ago.
Let me tell you guys something real quick. Right? The Eagles are 2-2. Right? If the Redskins lose today, they're still at the top of the division, right?
Tied, right?
Tied, whatever. Tied, whatever.
Ooh, the
2-2. That means there is, if I do the math correctly, there's 13 games remaining, right?
Did you have to carry something?
I'm just here to carry the 2.
I had to carry the 2.
Sure. Okay.
So that means we're still early in the season. There's still time to get this whole thing figured out. The Eagles are still the most talented team. They're very injured right now. They're going to get these players back. I think we're just overreacting because that's what Philadelphia people do.
Right.
But I think they're going to be perfectly fine. They're going to end up in the playoffs like we always do, and they're going to make a run for the Super Bowl. Okay.
I would say this. It is one thing to say that Philadelphia fans typically overreact, but I don't think it's overreacting to watch a game like we did today and be super pissed off and think there's real concerns for the rest of the year. I do like your pep talk, and I do very much hope that things will turn out nice, but we haven't really seen a lot in these first 4 games. I mean, guys, honestly tell me, at what point in the first 4 games did they play good football?
They haven't, but you've seen some things that'll make you believe
I
that
don't want
they
to
can
see some things. That's 4 games. They have not. The only thing I will say is the defense played an absolutely great game against the Saints. Besides that, the offense has never looked in sync for 1 minute. It's been up and down and just.
That's what I was going to say. But they have a piece, right? They have this guy that's on the team who can turn the game at any moment.
Talking about Saquon?
Yes.
I was going to say, I know you're not talking about Jalen.
No, but they had this guy, and I think if they, and I don't understand why they haven't at this point, but if they figure out that this guy is a very good player, he's the best player we have on offense, let's get him more involved. Let's feed him. Let's scheme him open. Let's do whatever we need to do. I think they'll be just fine, man. He'll open other things. We still have 2 of our best players on offense.
Raj,
they're injured.
Feel great.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just going to be fine.
They're injured. They're injured.
But listen, he could be right. It's just when you're watching this team, it's hard to get that feeling from what you've seen with your eyes.
No need.
All right.
Well, Raj gave us the pep talk.
You're good. He
gave us the pep talk, and like I said,
what else are we talking? Sixers?
No, you know what? Actually, it's funny.
Sixers.
No. There was an event the other day at the Philly Youth Basketball Academy, which is right by my house. Dean actually started playing basketball there, which is cool. It's a great spot. And they have a big.
Yeah, where is Dean? Did he?
He pieced out. He's like, I can't.
He drove home.
He had to go. He drove home. Yeah, he got an Uber. He hopped an Uber. But they did a great Embiid mural, and they did an event for Embiid the other day, and Paul George and a bunch of Maxey and a bunch of guys came out. And it's got me thinking, I'm actually kind of hyped for the Sixers. We got to talk about one thing though, man, right here, and I need to hear Meech on this.
Don't tell me this. You're scared of this catch rate.
I just want to hear what Meech has to say about this, because obviously the Knicks are making a lot of moves.
In my opinion.
You're talking about the extension, right?
No, he's talking about Cat.
Karl Anthony Towns.
The trade.
Going to the Knicks.
He's a chump. They would have been better off keeping those Nova guys together just for team continuity. I don't understand that trade.
I said when I saw that happen.
Listen, Julius Randle's a good player.
He's a tough player, too.
And especially if you lower his role, he's not the main man. So if he's the 4th guy, he's a great player to have on your team. Cat is soft. I just don't like. He's an Eagles fan. That's the only.
He's an Eagles fan.
He's a huge Eagles fan.
I had no idea. That's weird.
He used to have basketball shoes like.
Is he from the area?
Eagles. No, I think his mom was maybe something.
I know his mom.
We reject him.
His mom's dead.
Oh, it's such a weird.
Can you edit that out?
She passed.
I know his mom.
She passed during COVID.
I
remember that.
I'm sorry.
I think she was the Eagles fan. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He's a soft ass player. He's not good for the Knicks. The only reason it was a panic move because Mitchell Robinson went down, and Mitchell Robinson isn't even good to begin with.
Mitchell Robinson's a backup,
right?
I'm happy they broke up that Nova thing.
Hartenstein too.
Yeah,
Hartenstein.
Hartenstein was huge for them.
He went to
and
OKC.
they lost the Villanova guy that was he's part of that whole squad.
DiVincenzo.
So
no, they traded him.
They traded him for the Cat.
They lost Hartenstein to free agency.
By the way. Minnesota.
So they're low on big guys, so that's why they made
this. Makes Minnesota. I mean, obviously it was in Cat, but they could be pretty damn good.
No, I don't think this makes Minnesota any better.
It makes no one better.
Right. I just think the continuity with the Nova guys.
That was a big thing. When I saw that trade happen, the first thing I sent to the squad, I was like, the Knicks are doing too much. They're doing too much. They already got.
DiVincenzo's a playoff guy.
Yeah, dude, he killed us.
Yeah,
he killed us.
So we're gonna do this podcast for 3 hours just so Jeff and Emily have to stay here as long as possible. Though I don't see their children, so I'm guessing they're actually they're enjoying this. Yeah.
They're locked inside the urinal.
So, listen,
but by the way, there's a porta potty here, and I gotta be honest, it's the cleanest porta potty I've ever seen in my entire
that's
life.
because
there's like a glade
This event
fragrance.
didn't have the kind of traffic that makes a porta potty really.
No, it had
and
the traffic. It had the type of people that were using it.
Well, it's also the porta potty is
pissing all over
actually
the place.
in like a pseudo indoor venue, so that makes it feel like you can't go as wild.
As Squirrel goes in there to drop anchor.
Don't do it. He's seeing 20. All right. Well, look, guys, I appreciate you doing this. This was a tough game.
It was a sad game.
According to Rock, everything's going to be all
We'll
right.
be fine.
And look, we got the Phillies Red October. We're going to have a couple weeks without Eagles football. Maybe that's a good thing for everybody.
It's a very
you know
good
what I mean?
thing. I need a break.
We got to go reset, and things are going to get crazy with the Phils. And we'll see you this week. We're location TBD, but Wednesday night we'll cook one
George
up.
Kittle just housed that.
Yeah, I saw
right there. Holy
Episode 100.
I did see there's from Boop Stats on Twitter. Bob Vitrone, he's awesome. He said there's a possibility for, I think it's going to be the first ever Philadelphia sports equinox.
Okay.
Where if the Phillies make it to the World Series, the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and Sixers could play on the same day.
No way.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We'll be having that party at the Coop if you want to come watch it all. You know what I mean?
I want to say this.
I doubt it.
That would be.
I mean, that's
they
impossible.
They couldn't. Yeah, they
It's
couldn't.
not impossible. Like the Flyers and
Wait,
Sixers
there really was
do
a kid in the box. Huh?
doubleheader.
So that's just Summer
She is
climbing
in the
out
box.
the box.
I thought you were joking.
So
When I came out of the bathroom, I saw a little girl in the box. I was like, "Holy shit, that looks comfortable."
Zozo in the box. All right, now wait. I need everybody here's opinion on this because this is a related situation that just came up. My daughter is really into Billie Eilish, right? She's 10 years old, and I'm kind of backing that. Like Billie Eilish is a little bit like funky, creative. I like it. I like the vibe. So I'm supportive of that. And by the way, I'm super supportive of her being into music. I'm super into music, always have been, and I want to bond. And I've wanted to go to a concert with her. I didn't get to go. She went to see Taylor Swift in France, actually, with her mom, if you can believe it.
Whoa,
that's
yeah,
fancy.
I know. It's crazy.
Man.
It's so fancy. My mom actually set the whole thing up. But anyway, point is this. Billie Eilish is playing this Saturday night at the Wells Fargo Center, and it just happens to be the same day as the Phillies' first home game, which I'm hoping that I get to go to.
Okay.
And she's asking me, now her mom's going to take her one way or the other, but she's asking me to go, and I really want to go. And
There's no way they're going to be at the same time.
I'm kind of hoping. Well, no, yeah, they'll be at night. So I'm just hoping the Phillies, if it's a 4:00 game, I can do both. It's going to be a pricey day, but what do you think, Meech? Do you have any inside info on when the Phillies game might be and why?
No.
I can't imagine they would have those two events.
Wait, hold on. So there's going to be a game that's going to involve a West Coast team. Has to be, right?
Right.
Okay, so it could be earlier. You know what I mean?
It could be.
Yeah, it could be
here,
a 4:00.
The thing is, as I said last week, MLB loves the fact that Philadelphia fans are crazy.
Yeah.
So they're going to try as hard as they can.
I hear you,
put
but
that
what they'll
nights
do
in.
is they'll do
But
that. They'll do the double dip. They'll do the 4:00 game, and they'll try to grab a little prime time with them, and then they'll do the late.
You won't get a noon game.
I'll tell you this.
You won't. Get
Billie Eilish is gigantic. She's a huge
I'm aware
star.
of that.
There is no way in hell that they're going to have the Phillies game and the Billie Eilish concert at the same time. So you're going to have to go to both, buddy. Just get that in your head. You're going to have to go to both.
I want to go to both. Number
So you're
one.
going
Number
to
two,
both.
you're being a complete idiot.
I'm not being a complete idiot,
Yes,
but there's
they
no.
will, absolutely. It has nothing to do with Billie Eilish. The MLB
It does,
is not-
though, dude. I'm telling you, man, that the MLB
See, I
will
don't think
see.
the MLB will
They don't.
They're gonna figure all that.
think about that.
No,
They won't
they're
think
not
about
in
it.
the same stadium.
I know they're not in the same stadium. I know they're not in the same
concerned
stadium.
about their television broadcast. They're not concerned about who's
The
playing a
traffic.
concert.
They don't
in
care about the
city.
traffic.
All right.
They don't give a
They
shit.
do not
I
care.
guarantee you're going to both.
No, my man down who works at the Wells Fargo Center already told me, yo, there's going to be crazy traffic. Get ready for it. My only hope if I want to go to both,
You're going to
good
both.
dad, is if the Phillies game gets moved up and I can go there and then bump over. I am going to
You're gonna
spend
be
so
going
much
both.
money this October. Damn it. But it's going to be great. And thank you guys all for joining City Pigeons. We're going to be back on Wednesday for episode 99.
Thanks
and
to
then
everybody.
next
All you
week,
guys.
hey, congrats to Jeff and Emily here at the Firehouse for having a tremendous
Firehouse,
event
beautiful.
with Underdog and Garage Beer and everybody else that came. Thanks for having us a part of it. And we will see you guys soon.
Adios.
Peace out. Go Birds.
Adios, amigos.